with HITC Sport, and modern football wages made me want to iron my own face. Ozzy, when I see what some of these lads are earning, some of these footballers, they have 2 left feet. Ozzy, the way some of them kick the ball, you'd swear they were just some random lads dragged out of the set of Pirates of the Caribbean. So let's just take a look at every Premier League club's new summer signing who has just negotiated way more wages than he's actually worth. Alright, let's go. Arsenal, Ben White, £120,000 per week. Alright, take a deep breath here. You know that unfit looking cheeseball whose soul Ivan Toney captured on a Friday night last month? Good old Ben White, a supposed £50 million centre half, despite looking like a sociology student who works weekends at Pizza Hut. But yeah, wait for this. This defender, a guy bought from Brighton and who doesn't know how to jump. Yeah, he earns more at Arsenal than Thierry Henry ever did. If that's not a damning enough indictment on modern wages, then I don't know what is. Ben White, listen, he's a good defender, but £120,000 per week. That's close to what John Terry's wages were at Chelsea. And in comparison to him, Ben White is just a walking shepherd's pie. Arsenal were the only club in for White, so it's not like they had to win a bidding war. Good grace, he was only on £33,000 a week at Brighton. Even if you just doubled his wages, was he really going to say no? Aston Villa, Danny Ings, £120,000 a week. Listen, I like Danny Ings, but again, £120,000 a week for an injury-prone striker who turns 30 next summer. Remember those reports that said that Villa were so desperate to keep Grealish that they were actually willing to offer him more wages than what was on offer at the Etihad? Yeah, that's a pretty short-sighted move. I mean, I'm pretty sure that would have broken the club's financial spine. Good grace, it's like a multi-millionaire sniffing around your wife, and then in your desperation, you agree to buy her a yacht. Alright then, have fun spending the next 40 years of your life rifling through your neighbour's bin for leftover packets of Cheerios while showering in the toilet. Ozzy, £300,000 a week for Grealish? No way would that have been sustainable for a club who still picked Matt Target at left back. Anyway, back to Ings. Right, £120,000 a week. Danny Ings earns the same wage as Riyad Mahrez. He's an injury-prone centre-forward on the fringes of the England squad. You'd think they'd have learned from 10 years ago when they chucked cash at Darren Bent's belly. Brentford, Christopher AJER, £20,000 a week. Okay, to be fair, Brentford haven't actually overpaid for anyone this summer. Former Celtic defender Christopher AJER now pockets £20,000 a week. I mean, don't get me wrong, this could be an utter bargain, like when Southampton bought Virgil van Dijk from Glasgow. But there is also a possibility that after being used to marking overweight strikers from Motherwell and Dundee, then now that he's in the big boy league, he trips over his ankles and plays like a walking piggy bank. I mean, we'll see. Brighton, Enak Mwepu, £50,000 a week. Apparently Brighton are paying 23-year-old Zambian midfielder Enak Mwepu £50,000 a week. I'm gonna call it, that is paying over the odds. Burnley, Maxwell Cornet, £60,000 a week. I love Maxwell Cornet already. You can tell this exciting Champions League standard wing back is already out of place at Turf Moor already. For a start, when posing for his club photograph, the guy doesn't point to the badge on his chest. No, for some reason, he points to the Umbro sponsor. Oh, clearly this guy was half asleep.
I am excited to be joining Burnley in the Premier League and to play with and against many of the greatest players in the world.
Did he just say with? Alright then, Mr. Ice Cream, please tell me, which of your Burnley teammates are some of the greatest players in the world? And if you say Chris Wood, I would assume you've got a live rabbit nibbling chunks of your brain. Anyway, listen, he's been given a £60,000 a week deal at Turf Moor, making him the highest paid player at the club. He's talented. It's a bit of a risk to pay that sort of money to someone when their commitment and research is a bit loose. I mean, he doesn't even know how to point to your badge, and he can't actually think Aaron Lennon's a Ballon d'Or contender. Chelsea, Saul Niguez, £150,000 a week. Okay, I was tempted to pick Romelu Lukaku, pocketing £325,000 a week. Listen, he's a great striker and a brilliant signing, but £325,000 a week is a lot of money. And it's a 5-year deal, so they're going to be paying that sort of wage when he's 32. But I think he will be a success, so I'm not picking him. Instead, Saul Niguez, the Spanish midfielder on loan from Atletico Madrid. He's going to pick up £115,000 per week this season to sit on the bench until his bum turns blue. Honestly, by the end of the season, his arse is going to resemble a bruised banana. He's out of form. He's not getting into the team of the Champions League winners. And yet, he's earning more cash a week than Jorginho, a man who's arguably been Chelsea's player of the year and could well win the Ballon d'Or. I mean, Saul Niguez, he's on £40,000 a week more than Mason Mount. Honestly, this guy is going to be a Falcao or Ricardo Quaresma type of forgettable lone flop. Massive waste of money. Crystal Palace, Will Hughes, £60,000 a week. Crystal Palace are not shy with cash. Let's not forget, both Wilfred Zaha and Christian Benteke both take home a combined £250,000 every week. So by comparison, this won't seem too ridiculous, but still, Will Hughes is a championship standard myth. Yes, 10 years ago he was a Derby County wonder kid who looked like if you dipped Ed Sheeran headfirst into a bowl of butter, but I think we've learned since 2011 that Hughes is about as competent to play Premier League football as I am to fix a toilet. Trust me, don't let me, because your living room is probably going to smell like a mixture of old Chinese food and cat piss for at least 3 weeks. But good guys, every time I see Hughes on the pitch, I just think of Tinky Winky in a pair of football boots. So agreeing to pay him £60,000 a week? No! You might as well burn your wallet in a skip. Everton, Andros, Townsend, £60,000 a week. Okay, let's be honest, Everton haven't exactly been chucking cash around for fun this summer. It's all been pretty sensible and boring. And the annoying thing is, their owner has money. And lots of it. This is like being given Bill Gates' credit card and choosing to go to Tesco to buy nothing but broccoli, egg whites and a box of ready bread. But still, £60,000 a week for a 30-year-old lump of sweat like Andros Townsend. He's earning just a fraction less than the Everton captain. That's enough for me to say what a waste of cash. Leeds, Daniel James, £60,000 a week. Leeds are pretty sensible with their wages. But I'm sorry, a £25 million fee for Daniel James is bad enough. He's fast! Yes, but his end product makes me want to scratch my skin off my face. And on top of that, he's one of the club's highest earners on £60,000 a week. It's not the end of the world, but to put it in context, then this guy, Wales' answer to Speedy Gonzalez, he earns nearly 3 times what his goalkeeper does in a week. How is that fair? Leicester, Patson Daka, £70,000 a week. I've already said it. Patson Daka is going to be a massive £25 million flop at Leicester. Of course he is. I know he was a goal machine at Red Bull Salzburg, but just because Erling Haaland was, doesn't mean everyone is. And Kelechi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy are an unbreakable strike force right now. So this guy, he's the odd one out. He's going to be the next Ahmed Musa. It's like Ross and Rachel having their honeymoon and then Malcolm in the middle wanting to join them in the bed. And so yeah, £70,000 a week to sit on the bench. Not great business. Liverpool, Ibrahima Konate, £70,000 a week. Okay, Liverpool have only signed 1 player this window, so the answer has to be former RB Leipzig French centre-back Ibrahima Konate, right? I mean, listen, he might actually be a bargain at £70,000 a week. Good grace, you can't really call this guy overpaid. He earns less than Takumi Minamino, for Christ's sake. But this guy could also turn out to be some sort of walking snowman at Anfield. You know, just another Ozan Kabak. And then this measly weekly wage might be deemed extortionate. But for now, can't really say. Man City, Jack Grealish, £230,000 a week. Okay, there are many different reports on what Jack Grealish actually earns. Some say this £100 million man is taking home £300,000 a week, which would make him the second highest paid player in the club's history, which would be utterly revolting. Other reports say he's earning £230,000 a week. The same newspapers who keep banging on about the fact that he keeps trying to smell the armpits of people out of Love Island. Honestly, stop putting it in the papers, I don't give a bollocks. But for the sake of my sanity, let's accept the lower wage is true, because honestly, try to imagine £300,000 a week for someone that probably smells of dead meatballs. I think my blood vessels might just erupt in my face. But still, £230k a week is still what Manchester City were paying Sergio Aguero. So let me get this straight. You've dumped your club record goal scorer, the biggest hero in the history of your club, the face of Manchester City, the guy with a statue outside the ground. You've dumped him like an empty bag of McVitie's cookies and just given his weekly wage packet to a lump of Brill cream from Aston Villa. It actually makes my brain bleed. Man United, Cristiano Ronaldo, £385,000 a week. Cristiano Ronaldo is an incredible footballer. Don't worry, I wasn't starved of oxygen in the womb. I don't start my day by shoving pancakes up my nose. I know Ronaldo's utterly world class. I'm sorry. Okay, I can't in good conscience just ignore the fact that Manchester United are agreeing to pay a 36-year-old man £385,000 a week. He is the highest paid player in the history of your club. Lads, he's on a 2-year deal. So yeah, the fact that Manchester United will be paying nearly £400,000 a week to a 38-year-old man. Can we just take a second to realise how utterly insane that is? I mean, good for him, but £385,000 a week for a guy who will be about 6 months of his 39th birthday and still earning that money? What? Newcastle, Joe Willock, £90,000 a week. So Joe Willock is Newcastle's highest earner at £90,000 a week. Listen, be wary of Joe Willock. Yes, he utterly exploded with 8 goals on loan, but Kennedy also looked great on loan initially with Newcastle before dying like a baby giraffe once he came back. I'm not saying Willock isn't going to be worth the money, but he looks utterly miserable having to leave his boyhood club. I mean, the move to Newcastle is not exciting for him. Deep down, he's devastated that he can't make it at Arsenal, especially when they're finishing 8th in the damn league. Listen, he could be worth the money, but I have a feeling he won't be. Probably gonna spend every night crying in Darris Hall, and I guarantee you, before Christmas, there's gonna be a story about him getting kicked out of Lavello's nightclub. Norwich, Brandon Williams, £65,000 a week. Brandon Williams is comfortably the highest earner in Norwich City. I'm assuming the Canaries are having to cover his wages while he's on loan from Man United. And I'm sorry, £65,000 a week for a bang average fullback who'll be lucky to have the same career as Phil Bardsley. What? Southampton, Adam Armstrong, £70,000 a week. Yes, apparently Southampton have agreed to pay Adam Armstrong £70,000 a week. Lads, this is a Premier League big move. You could have probably offered him a weekly wage consisting of 7 custard creams and a kiss before bed. And he'd have probably taken the deal, anything to scrape himself out of the championship. And again, I've already said it, he's nailed on to be an absolute disaster flop. Tottenham Emerson Royale, £50,000 a week. Okay, so I'm not sure if these wages are entirely accurate, but if they are, then Tottenham have agreed to boost Emerson Royale's Barcelona wages, giving the Brazilian right back £50,000 a week. Now, this guy has been compared to Maicon. I mean, thankfully Gareth Bale has since left the building. Otherwise, the Welshman's mere presence would probably cause this guy to make a toilet in his shorts. 50k a week isn't loads of money, but still. Considering Tottenham's recent record for recruiting right backs, you just know he's odds on to fail. Watford Moussa Sissoko, £80,000 a week. This is utterly ridiculous. Sissoko, his CV sounds nice. He's played 17 times for France, has made over 250 Premier League appearances, and played in a Champions League final. Surely Watford fans should be excited, right? No. Anyone who saw him lazily stroll about like a French love of pizza and a Newcastle shirt, he doesn't have the appetite for relegation battle. Auntie, he was outperformed by Jack Colback. So Watford fans, good luck. You're about to witness the Moussa Sissoko of 2016, and no one likes that Sissoko. West Ham Kurt Zouma, £125,000 a week. This is one of the stupidest contracts in the Premier League. I'm sorry, but if you were forced to offer Kurt Zouma £125,000 a week to agree to become a West Ham player, then clearly he doesn't really want the move now, does he? Apparently this fat, massive salary is causing unrest in the West Ham squad. I'm not surprised because Zouma is not even that good. Yes, he was a useful defender for Chelsea, but on loan at both Stoke and Everton, he was like the French Ryan Shawcross. Honestly, about as exciting as wet marmalade. He's not that good, so agreeing to make him West Ham's highest paid player when he's done nothing for the club yet, after all the other players excreted blood, sweat and tears to get European football, he now earns nearly double the weekly wages of Mikel Antonio. It's disgusting. Wolves Francisco Trincao, £140,000 a week. Okay, I hope that Wolves are not paying Francisco Trincao's wages in full. But considering Barcelona's financial hellhole, they probably are. And he's a 21-year-old Portuguese winger on £140,000 a week. Please, Wolves, please tell me you're not covering these wages for a raw and proven talent. You already have Fabio Silva. Why do you need another one? And for that price? Ridiculous! Why don't you also go and iron your brain? Anyway, that is the end of it. Let me know what do you think. Alright, let me know in the comment section below if you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.